Okay, now where is that book? I know I have it here somewhere. I just need to find it. Let's see. Cookbooks? Latin? No, that's not what I'm looking for. Oh man, that's the 5th time this week that my tail has knocked over some stuff. If this keeps up, the librarian's really gonna kick me out for sure. Heck, it's not my fault that I was so busy with everything else. The librarian really was pushing it. Really, midnight? Does it always have to be midnight in order for a library to close? Sometimes people like to be up around 2 a.m. in the morning. She really should find someone to do her shifts. Okay, here's a book. Twinkle, twinkle, little... Hey, wait a minute. This is not it. This is just a book of rhymes. Darn it! Sorry about that. I think I better hurry and find my book before I really get kicked out for sure. Here it is. This is the magic book. Let's see, where is that spell I'm looking for? Breathing underwater? That I'll keep in handy. Invisibility? No, that's a spell for another time. Here we go. The stars are bright, your hearts are pure. Please let me come across your shore. Please let the stars be my friend. Hello again, folks. This is Dragon Videos, ready to present another list. This one I'm going to do is the Steven Universe. So if there's any Steven Universe fans around, then that is fantastic, because we're going to go over some of the episodes, or my personal favorites, since Steven Universe has its 6th season as well its first ever movie. And I'm really excited that it's going to come out pretty darn soon. Now, with Steven Universe, it really is a special show, and I really hope that it continues on in the future. In this list, I'm going to focus on some of my favorite episodes from Season 1 to Season 5. Currently, we're just going to go over my top 10 Season 1 episodes. So, grab your seatbelt because this is going to be one magical ride. Okay, who put marbles on the floor? Ow. Okay, I guess my spellbook thought it was a good idea to teleport into this room full of marbles because of my number 10 episode. Yep, that's right. My Season 1 favorite in number 10 is Marble Madness. This episode really got a lot of interesting stuff started. There's a small rundown here. Pearl, Amethyst, and Garnet have been trying to destroy these flask robonites that Peridot has been sending down to Earth. The destroying part is easy, but getting rid of them permanently was easier said than done. The flask robonoids were basically like cockroaches. No matter how many times you kill them, they just keep coming back. However, because of this, Steven decided that they should probably figure out where they're going. It got so bad up to the point where even Garnet had to agree with Steven and just figure out where these flask robonoids were going. It sucked, but they didn't want to do this whole destroy thing forever. One of the things I liked about this episode is the interaction of Peridot with Steven. It definitely gave the idea of what Steven was going to face later on in the future, as well as what homeworld gems are like. And of course, I put this at number 10 because of the facial reactions that Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl pulled off when Steven left them and they were all silently crying out, "Steven!" Well, back to the library once again. It's a good thing that I live by here. Technically, my castle's pretty darn close to it. Okay, magic book, show me what you got. Ow! Not again. This is the second time I've hit my head in this top 10 list. Huh? A storybook? What in the world is it doing all the way here? Wait a minute. Why is it glowing like that? Take cover! Hello, Steven. What are you doing this far side of the woods here? I thought you were back in Beach City. I'm so sorry, Steven. I guess my spellbook activated the teleportation spell. Usually involves the magical objects that are close by, such as this book, which is normally used in this library. Sorry about that. I guess it was because I was searching for my number 9, and you just so happened to be on that list. Or more technically, in this episode, this is about your mother's story. That's right. Story for Steven really was a well thought out episode. It really introduced the perspective of Greg since it was only introduced in Laser Cannon. So, of course, it starts off with Greg having a horrible time with his show, and of course his partner in crime, Marty, who was still a slimeball at the time, tried to wager him that they can only get a certain amount of money. And later on, he soon meets the crystal. Bless that gem's heart, she really was supportive of him. Marty, on the other hand, well, he was just a manipulative scumbag that somehow managed to convince Greg that he's better off being in Beach City with Rose. And again, I love Rose Quartz even despite of everything that's happened so far in the series. I put this at number 9 because there are still several episodes I found very intriguing and interesting. But don't get me wrong, I do love this romance stories because in a lot of ways it's a bit realistic too. Okay, Steven, I managed to find a spell that should teleport you back. Feel free to drop by anytime. You're welcome, Steven. Say hi to the gems and candy for me. What in the world? Why in the earth is there a boxer in the library? Ow! Okay, am I gonna continue experiencing pain as I'm going down this list? Garnet really was a heavy hitter, and I definitely picked Garnet's Universe as my number 8 for a good amount of reasons. I thought it was very cute of how Steven and Garnet were starting to bond, since Garnet's not much of a talker. So we got to see a little bit of a regiment of video games and anime. And the reason why I say that is because some of the action sequences are a little similar to the old-fashioned anime we've seen when we were kids. Or specifically, some of it is Dragon Ball Z. So, if some of you are fans of that, then this would be of no surprise. I still liked it anyhow. Okay, let's see here. So we basically have a puzzle that seems to be missing several pieces as one of the clues that my book has provided for the next list. And then, of course, we have, oh no, a maze. Seriously, book? The last time we had that, you teleported me there and I nearly escaped a minotaur. Now thinking about it, I guess it's because these puzzles and mazes are my number 7th choice of the Season 1 Steven Universe episode. Serious Steven really was the highlight of Steven's best moments in this show. So, to start off, he was trying to act like a very serious person, trying to make sure that he helps the gems out without getting in the way. Well, almost getting in the way. He tries his hardest, but every trap and every obstacle that he comes across nearly kills him in the process. It's by then that he gets really discouraged and really thought he couldn't help out at all. But then over time, he soon realizes that the place they were in was not only a maze, but basically a living teacup. The teacup show, if many of you know what I'm talking about. And then by that point, he figures out that puzzle and succeeds in the mission. So you could sort of say this really shows of Steven being more than just a goof up. He really shows that he has some smarts and can solve a situation. Oh boy, looks like my book had teleported me into this dark forest. What else can go wrong? Ah, at least there's a castle. At least if something goes wrong in this part of a list, at least I have somewhere to retreat. What on earth was that? Oh, please let it be a bunny. Please, please, please let it be a bunny. Aww. Hi, Centipedal. It's been a while. How are you doing? Well, I guess Steven wasn't the only one who got transported into my list thanks to my book. Sorry about that. Wait, what's that? Centipedal, I'll catch up with you later. I gotta run for my life now. Okay, that was way too close for comfort. Monster Buddies was on my number 6 list, mostly because of the interaction Steven had with one of the corrupted gems. And since he played a huge role in it later in the series, not a whole lot of screen time, but it's probably the only corrupted gem that Steven was, of course, able to bond with, and in some cases gave some character growth for him. You see, in the episode of his bonding time with Centipede, he began to learn and understand that corrupted gems, though monstrous, they still have a somewhat compassionate side. And because of his ability to get through to Centipede, he's able to recognize that there's more to the corrupted gems than he realizes. That these were more of innocent victims of a horrible circumstance. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Why on earth am I showing an image of SpongeBob with a person made entirely out of bubbles? Well, that's because my number 5 is Bubble Buddies. And no, Steven's buddy is not made of actual bubbles. Connie was an amazing character to work with. Not only is it because she started off so shy and reserved, only to become more confident later in the series, but it also helped Steven have a human friend. Who knew it all started because of a simple mishap with Steven's powers, while the rest of the gems were searching for a huge worm or other monsters. Um, but that was changed after Stephen met Connie and that the gems had to go somewhere else. Over time, as they interacted, Stephen tries to reassure Connie that she doesn't have to be alone and that he and she can be friends. If you can see with how they're holding their hands, this is the beginning relationship as well as the concept of the Connie loves Stephen arc we've been going over for so long. And I do like this couple. It also lands in number 5 because it definitely highlights of how far they've come in terms of who they are and their relationship and their friendship that comes with it. Pearl was always considered the bird mom of the crew. However, we never knew why, until Rose's scabbard showed all of that. Who knew it was the result of collecting weapons from an abandoned battlefield? Pearl was very excited when Lion found the weapon. However, the negative part was it resulted in a major meltdown. Since then, Pearl was angry, began lashing at everyone, screaming, "None of you had what we had," and what really stung Stephen the most when she said, "What do you know? You never even met her," which was, in a lot of ways, very cruel. When Stephen confronted her in the abandoned battlefield, he learns a little bit of how Rose and Pearl connected. Pearl was valued by Rose and felt more than just a regular old Pearl. But Stephen comforted her and told her that she was pretty great. Though she had a long way to go, just having Stephen say those words alone gave her that sense of comfort that even if Rose is gone, her son, would still love her for who she is, regardless of whatever faults or controlling behavior that she has. This has to be the best location that the book has warped me to. Nothing but the beach, the salty air, and the water beneath your skis. This is the life. What was that? Wait a minute. Oh no. Surf's up! You could probably guess why I chose these episodes. I mostly liked them because they introduced one of my favorite gems, Lapis Lazuli. Her frame is delicate as well as her voice was filled with so much sadness and tragedy that you can't help but feel sorry for her. I mean, if you were trapped in the mirror, you'd go crazy too. I also like to use these episodes as a highlight of Stephen's characteristics and how they are beneficial in later in season 5. It all starts when Stephen's given a mirror by Pearl, and at first it didn't seem like it was working well, but then it started talking to him, and at first Stephen thought it was a good idea to show it to the gems. Boy, was that a big mistake. It resulted in a small argument with the gems, and then Stephen had to release Lapis Lazuli right before everyone, resulting in a stolen ocean and a rage of water battles with water clones. I know, this theme was water in the majority of these episodes. But one thing that really put everything off was when Stephen had to confront Lapis Lazuli. Lapis had a lot of issues with the crystal gems, mostly because they just didn't recognize that she was an actual gem stuck in a mirror. Aside from those sorts of dark episodes, Stephen tried to help her get some sense of peace, as well as deciding to heal her gem in order to fly back to homeworld, which resulted in some strange, if not obvious, questions of what is yet to come. Oh no, I overused the teleportation spell for too long. This is not good. If it overloads, it results in wormhole! What the? The Eiffel Tower? Oh boy. The pyramids? What the? Not now, White! I need to get that book on timeout. This is basically my number 2 choice in the Steven Universe Season 1 episode. It all starts off with Steven coming back from a mission and accidentally sticking his head in the stream. Luckily, Garnet pulled him out, but it also resulted in finding something weird in one of the warp pad streams. It was soon a result of going to many locations and callbacks to some of the previous episodes in Season 1. After nearly getting killed, Garnet comforts Steven saying, "You're a crystal gem too," which in some ways represents the growing relationship between the 4 of them and recognizing the importance of what Steven has to say. Which is a good thing too, because this episode, in my number 2 spot, is also when we got to see our favorite green Dorito before she was reformed, literally and figuratively. Our beloved Space Peridot. Even to this day, I always found amazing of how she became this cold and calculating villain that showed Homeworld has a lot in store. Okay, I'm out of the library and I put away my magic book in a safe place where it won't pull off any more magic shenanigans. And with my number 1 choice, you would be no surprise, and they also go hand in hand, so I had to put 2 in here, wrapped in 1. The Return is basically where it's the beginning of the end. This is where we pick off with Steven enjoying a nice day at the beach until he sees a hand floating in the sky, resulting in the evacuation of the city when the cannons were aflop. Upon learning the truth about the invasions and the alien concept, Steven had to go get them. And this also resulted in the debut of Jasper, the big mean Cheeto pup that we all hate. Well, some of us anywho. And then, of course, it brings back all the entire trio. This is definitely where the situation got really heavy, as well as the name drop of the Yellow Diamond. And then, of course, Jasper really put on the terrifying part when she destroyed Garnet. Jailbreak really was a great episode as well, mostly because it continues off from the Return and we get to learn about Garnet being a fusion of Ruby and Sapphire. I also liked that we introduced a song which was personally Garnet's theme, Stronger Than You. All I could say was, "Get her, Garnet!" It was a huge cheer to take down that brutal gem. Who knew it resulted in having to form Malachite, mostly out of Jasper's desperation, but it also gave a small possible redemption arc for Lapis Lazuli, and it was a great way to end the season. So these are my personal opinions about my top 10 Steven Universe episodes from Season 1. If any of you have any favorites, please post them in the comments below. Have a good day.